What's up, everybody? A happy Memorial Day. It's Kyle, your host of Unlocking Your Inner Strength. Another episode back at you on Memorial Day. Meant to record this one last week, so it's a little late, but better late than never. I figured every year I'll probably make a recording about our 2-year anniversary or 3-year anniversary, whatever the anniversary of when we defied the governor's orders and opened the gym. Because I think it's important to keep stuff like that as not just a memory that gets locked away that nobody talks about again. Because history repeats itself. And when that time comes, we're going to have to remember stuff like May of 2020 and having courage and living by your convictions and your beliefs and your values and not really giving an F what anybody else thinks about you. That is a key component to this. But I want to dive in, and excuse me ahead of time, we got a naked baby Emma Taylor right over here. She's coloring. We got the boys, they'll probably be out. Devin's out getting her nails done. We got Italy coming up this week from one of my brother's weddings. So I'm going to do the best I can to not be distracted, but bear with me. To start from the top, as we all know, 2 years ago with all the lockdown craziness and whatnot. Now, heading into that, I'll give you a little bit of my background. I was following this COVID stuff since pretty much October of 19. Different stuff I look at, different sites. And then it would pop up in the mainstream a little bit. And then when they started really talking about it in January, I told Devin, nope, not buying the narrative at all with this. Not buying the narrative as far as what they were trying to push, the agenda they were trying to push. Keep in mind, my grandfather got COVID and died. And it was a very sudden death. So that was very hard for all of us. So I want you to keep that as frame of reference. And then they started the lockdowns. I continued to go into, I had a seminar that Friday night. I still put on at the gym. It was like March 13th that I put on, despite the doctor that was supposed to do it with me backed out because of everything was starting to lock down and it was coming. So that Monday, the first Monday of lockdowns, we actually, I was open as far as I was in the gym. I would continue to go into the office every single day. We were having the Rutgers football team was actually training with us at that time because they couldn't train at their facility because the school was locked down, closed down. So anyhow, we dealt with that for a couple months. And it was May 4th. Remember, me and Devin were sitting in the hammock right over there, right behind me, down our hill. I said, I think we got to open. We got to do this. This is just a bunch of BS. And she was like, you got to do it. Let's do it. So it was a decision her and I made together. So we made the decision May 4th. So I'm confident that we made the decision first in the state. And I'll talk about the other guys down in South Jersey maybe throughout this. It was cool that they did it, but we definitely were the first to make the announcement. And we weren't going public with it. That wasn't the reason we did this. It was really to provide hope for people at that time. Because if you can put yourself back in that time period, people were starting to lose hope. So May 12th, which was a Tuesday, I remember I was home with the kids. Devin was working at the gym because we kind of did a soft opening. We were testing our protocols with select current members at that time. But we had already made the decision again that we were going to open May 18th. And I remember seeing something pop up on my phone that Los Angeles was going to stay on lockdown or closed through August. And I just got this vibe, right? We were doing this to give people hope and a sense of community. And I said, this is ridiculous. I said, I'm going to go into one of the Facebook groups I was in, like Open NJ or something along those lines, and just to let people know that we are actually going to open. And that was it. It was not for attention. Now, and that was just a live video I did. The kids were eating dinner in the background. Before you knew it, the thing goes viral. And my phone starts blowing up. I'm like, uh-oh. Because again, we were not doing this for attention. It starts blowing up. All this stuff. And there was already some behind the scenes stuff going down as far as some of my buddies that were police officers in the local area. They knew I was planning on opening. They were trying to talk me out of it. Family members, some of them were kind of unsure. Because you got to remember, it's hard. Now it seems easy to look back on that time, but going through that time, there was nobody else doing this. There was nobody else standing up. There was nothing. Like, people were fed up, but I didn't really care as far as once we made the decision what happened to me as a man or as a business. I had no fear of that stuff. Anyhow, that goes viral. It has like 12,000 views that night, and something like, I can't remember how many shares. It was like over 100 shares or a couple hundred shares. Devin got home. I'm like, well, now everybody knows. So let's see what happens. The next day, Fox News reached out, wanted me to be on Fox that weekend. So I was on a Neil Cavuto show that Saturday right before, right? So this is all kind of the week before Memorial Day 2 years ago. Just trying to see where Emma went. She disappeared on me. So was on that show. That Friday, I'm sitting in the gym. The Friday right before being on that, and one of my friends, who was a officer in town, came by. He said, "Can I talk to you for a minute?" It was right before I was leaving. It was probably like 4 o'clock in the afternoon. I said, "Sure, man." So I went out there after I finished a call I was on. He said, "So what's the deal? What time you opening Monday?" I said, 4 o'clock. You know, this was public. I wasn't hiding this. I told the authorities locally what I was doing. So what happens when we give you a ticket? I said, I don't know. So I figured I stayed open. I figured that's my fee for the day. And they didn't know either. So I consulted with my lawyer, and he's like, that's correct. Give you your summons, you stay open. So Monday rolls around, and I'm walking my hill over here with my weighted vest walk, and one of the coaches, no longer a coach, but he wanted to work out at like 6. He said, dude, they already got the gym surrounded. There's cops everywhere. There's this and that. I said, really? I told him it wasn't open until 4. Why is that? Nonetheless, you know, you still get the butterflies, right? Now, the guys in South Jersey down at Belmar, they had opened the Attila's gym that morning. And so we were kind of waiting to see what was going on down there, figuring it was going to be handled the same way up here. So that, you know, we're watching that unfold. I remember JB, my buddy from Rutgers, strength and conditioning, he had called me mid-morning and said, you know, we're all kind of watching, waiting to see what's going to happen. Because everybody had seen a news clip on Saturday. Now that Monday, the phone starts blowing up again throughout the day. Before we open, people that want to interview me, this and that. So there's all these things I know that's going to be going crazy at the gym when we go in. And we successfully opened at 4 o'clock. The parking lot was packed. A lot of people from town were there. There were a lot of people I had no idea who they were. They had to barricade the parking lot off because it got so full. But we got our summons. My grandfather, who I mentioned earlier, he has since passed, but he was able to be there with me that morning. I figured having a World War II vet, because Leo emailed me he would always email me. He would always respond to my daily emails that I send out for the gym. But it was like 2 weeks in, and he said, Kyle, he goes, this is ridiculous the way the country is behaving with this. He goes, if we acted like this in World War II, we'd be speaking German or Japanese right now. Just the level of fear, it was insane. So we opened. Man, I was emotionally shot that night. Just drained that Monday night. But got back at it Tuesday. Back at it again. Get another summons. Now, some of my buddies tell me, hey, tomorrow we got to start giving the clients tickets. I said, all right, do what you got to do. And I never had any ill will. Those are my buddies, a lot of those guys. And I said, you guys do what you got to do. This is not to make you guys look bad or anything of that nature. So Wednesday was the craziest day of that week. And in order not to allow this to go on too long, you know, that's the day I really want to focus on. So Wednesday, go to work out with my buddy Frank at the gym, like 7 a.m., I don't know, 6 a.m. So we were working out the whole time, me and him. Like, he texted me right when all this nonsense started in that March. And a picture of his home gym. I said, oh, awesome, dude. I said, well, I'm going to train tomorrow if you want to go train. He's like, in. So we were training 3 days a week throughout all this because we had the same exact mindset with this, what was going on. So we're working out. The Bill Spadia show at New Jersey 101.5 asked me to be on. So after the warm up, hop on that. After that, people reaching out, my police buddies. So that was pretty cool. But then two of my other buddies that are officers from different towns had reached out that mid morning and said, today's the day that they're going to arrest you. I said, all right. Then what? So they kind of walked me through the process as far as you're going to get arrested. We'll come pick you up. They're not going to detain you overnight and blah, blah, blah. All right, cool. So that's what me and Devin are thinking going in. Now, mind you, my other buddy, who was a township prosecutor, reached out to me that Tuesday and said, hey, can we talk tomorrow? I didn't go to any of my buddies in high places when I made this decision because I didn't want anybody feeling obligated to me or having to make a tough decision. I didn't go to anybody for help for this, which I would do. That's the same thing I would do the second time around. I said, do I need my lawyer? He said, no, just come in, me and you. So I go on Wednesday. Again, so I'm on the radio show that morning. There might have been another interview or two that day. We think I'm getting arrested that day. I have another buddy call me that's a big shot in the state, and his son is actually an officer in the town. He says, listen, there's going to be a lot of officers at the gym tonight, Wednesday. There's going to be a big rally at your gym, and this guy has a concealed carry license that's going to be there. I had no idea about any of this. I'm just opening my gym for our clients. That's it. I didn't know what was going on with Facebook and this stuff. And I had other, again, I have a lot of buddies that are officers tell me, hey, they're going to give the clients tickets. And I said, I know. I said, I'm aware. Anyway, go meet with my buddy, the prosecutor, and my buddy Frank, who, is one of my really good friends. He texted me that. He said, hey, did you reach out to Roy? Roy Fryman was an old member, but he's an assemblyman in New Jersey. So no, I haven't. So I'm reading the text, and the prosecutor, his name is Frank also, says, well, let's reach out to Roy. We reach out to Roy, finish that meeting. They're all kind of in agreement with what I'm doing, with my value system and whatnot. But they're in a tough spot, right? And my buddy, the prosecutor, says, we're not going to be able to, because I personally won't be able to prosecute you because I'm friends with you. And I have to recuse myself. Okay. So I go into the gym anyway after all that, do another interview. My other buddy, whose friend is a cop in town, he calls again and says, look, I got off the phone with the county, ripped into them. How are you going to give this guy's clients tickets, blah, blah, blah. And this guy's a lawyer. He's very well connected. And he said, well, the county was great. It's not our choice. This is directly from the governor. These are orders. We have to give this guy. We can't let him continue to open. We have to give his clients tickets. I'm like, damn. Here you go. Because if nobody goes in, then essentially they beat me. They won the battle. So I go to open the gym doors. It's like 3 o'clock, 3:30. No fanfare. There's no rally. I don't know where what information that was. And all of a sudden, you have about 10 unmarked SUVs pull into the parking lot. You see the Hillsborough police. You can see them, some of the streets around. The whole Hillsborough PD, about 15 sheriffs were there. They sent the sheriffs. And they explained, and I know some of those guys too, but they were going to keep going up the ranks, I believe, to try to get to a level. Eventually, they were going to send the state police where I might not have had friends, because again, it puts them in a tough situation. When they come, Roy shows up, the assemblyman. And we're meeting outside. I remember, and then Devin pulled up, and she looked like she saw a ghost because she was coming in to, do some work. And you had all these officers, bulletproof vests. You had all these, and this is what they're all wearing masks. Just kind of a surreal scene. And Roy says, why can't they just work out outside? What's the big deal? Nope, we've been ordered to give the clients tickets. So I go up to some clients. I said, listen, if you guys go in, you're going to get a summons. But I'm going to pay for all your legal fees. You don't have to worry about that, but this will be on your record. Okay, got it. So 4 of them went in. Thank goodness. Now, they were giving tickets out to other people that went in, right? No, only 4 of them. So they gave them tickets as they drove away from the gym after the workout. They thought there was going to be a lot of media, I guess, and whatnot. So that's the way that was going down. But Roy calls me back, says, hey, it's like 5:30. Can you meet tonight? I said, sure, what's up? He goes, come to my office, 6:30. Me, you, Mike Robertson, who's the county prosecutor, and the county chief of detectives, John. be there, man. So I go in. Remember, we thought I was going to get arrested at the beginning of the day. Sit down with those guys. And Mike, who's a great guy, we really hit it off. We're making small taste. Listen, I support you. I believe in what you're doing. I watch your videos. He goes, do you want to make a compromise? He goes, we've been told we can make a compromise through the governor's office with you. And I said, sure, what do you got? And he says, outdoor fitness, up to 25 people. I said, well, is it just for us or for everybody? So I wanted it to be for everybody. Again, this is why it was to give people hope. This wasn't about us staying in business or getting publicity. I said, sure, I agree to that. We wound up doing some shots of whiskey. It was just kind of a surreal night. I got home at like 9:30 that night. So go from the morning thinking I'm going to get arrested to this, right? They call me the next day and say, your clients aren't going to get tickets today. The governor will make the announcement tomorrow, which was Friday. You're still going to get your tickets. Fine with me. And each summons I got was a $1,000 fine and up to 6 months in jail. I remember it was on ABC or NJ12. It was the very first day of Monday. They said, well, they're asking me about the tickets. You're going to get 6 months and $1,000. How long are you willing to do this? I said, at least 30 days I'm going to do this and see what happens. And I think that kind of shocked some people. Again, I didn't really care what people thought of me. That was a big thing, right? The judgment. A lot of haters coming out of the woodworks with this. A lot of them. And it's okay because they gave me the most valuable thing they have, their time and attention. But it didn't affect me at all, and as far as that goes. Governor made the announcement that Friday. Real emotional. There's a video somewhere on Facebook I made, and still doing all these interviews and all that. And I remember it's kind of a celebration, right? You stood by your beliefs. I stood by my beliefs, and I knew I was doing it out of the pureness of my heart, me and Devin. So I knew nothing evil would happen to me. I knew I was doing this not for malintent or to harm anybody. It was for pure love out of my heart to give people hope. So I knew that from operating from that vibrational energy, nothing bad could ultimately come upon me. So that weekend's Memorial Day, I spoke with Ian down at the shore. They wanted us to speak. Spoke down there. And I think throughout, the approach we took was way different. Mine was not to get people fired up, right? Mine was a belief and not antagonizing people. And you can see that when we both spoke down there, the difference in the reaction of the crowd. Anyhow, that Sunday, which would have been yesterday, I get a call. Don't know the number, don't pick up. I hardly ever pick up my phone as it is. And I get a text, hey, it's Mike. So I wasn't supposed to communicate directly with Mike because that's to protect, right? His interests and whatnot. And he was on vacation, so then he was within his rights to call me, and we talked for a while. He said, hey, is everything happy, good? Are you happy the way things turned out? And I said, yeah, man, very happy. And he kind of gave me some insight that the next day the state was going to get funny, squirrely, and they said, well, we might just close him down with the Department of Health. And he said, whoa. This guy gave us his word. He's not some stupid meathead. He's a smart guy. He gave me his word. You gave me your word. You can't go back on it. And he told me, he goes, Kyle, if they showed up, he goes, I was going to have the county SWAT team there to, kind of nip this in the bud, which I was like, oh, man, that's really cool. So you think about that, right? Like the support we gathered from local, it was all about a belief system. Now it seems like it would be the easy thing to do, but we'll find out if this all happens again. But that was it, really. And then we just on a roll, and it was weird because that summer we went to, man, even last summer, people on vacation would still come up to me and talk to me and recognize me. Oh, wearing a dual strength shirt and whatnot. Obviously, the gym in South Jersey got a lot more publicity. I think that's what their goal was. That wasn't my goal, but having that experience in my life was one of the best experiences of my life because I was willing to stand by my beliefs and not back down. And that's the key lesson. When you believe in something, you got to stand up for it. It's so easy to talk, but you got to walk the walk. Actions speak louder than words. Again, I would, for my family, my extended family, my parents were there to support me. Everybody had my back. Everybody that mattered to me, my best friends, they were there that day when we opened. They had my back, right? And I wasn't concerned, again, about the people that were emailing me locally. you're a scumbag, blah, blah, whatever. Those people, like I said, they're small minds, right? Small minds focus on other people to that degree and gossip about other people. But when you have something you believe in, guys, you have to stand by those beliefs. Even when that means doing something and being persecuted and standing tall when you're kind of up there by yourself. But it gave people hope. It gave people a little nudge. It gave people, hey, maybe this is kind of a spiritual battle, good versus evil. And that's the way I really looked at it. But that's 2 years ago. It's hard to believe. Things are different now, but they're not different, right? Like, still got a lot of weird stuff going on. But you gotta be willing to be ready. And when you stand by your beliefs, you can make some of the best memories of your life. All right, I gotta go check on the kids because I don't hear any of them. You guys have a great Memorial Day. Have a great day at the pool if you're doing that. We're going over to Sugar Shane's house in a little bit to hit the pool. Thanks, Chris. And that's kind of some of the behind the scenes stuff that happened that week and that day. And all right, you guys all be good. Thanks for the support as always. I will catch you guys this week. Later.